All people seem to need data processing, and what does that have to do with networking? Hello, I'm Travis and this is Raltos. Networking is at the core of the IT industry, on premises or in the cloud. No matter what path your IT career takes you, you'll need some understanding of basic networking concepts such as IP addresses, DNS, and routing. This is the first of a series of videos I'm doing on networking basics. In this video, we're going over the OSI model. Before we get started, please like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and click the bell icon for notifications of new content. And if you want to learn more about Windows Virtual Desktop, check out my new course on udemy.com, Zero to Hero with Windows Virtual Desktop. OSI stands for Open Systems Interconnection. The OSI model is a conceptual model that describes how data goes from an application, such as a web browser, to a server when you open a web page, and how that data comes back to your web browser, delivering all those wonderful cat videos we all enjoy so much. The OSI model is an important concept and the foundation of everything network related. If you've been around networking, you likely have heard about Layer 3 switches or Layer 7 gateways. These layers map to the OSI model. So what are these layers and what does it have to do with people needing data processing? Here are the layers: application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. With application being the top or the 7th layer, and physical being the 1st or layer 1. Knowing these layers in order is a requirement for any good networking class. A mnemonic is helpful for memorizing these layers. All people seem to need data processing. Hey, a callback. See what I did there? The OSI model is a reference for protocols that describe how applications interface with the network. As we go from the application layer, such as a web browser making a request, to the web server, the data is broken into chunks and prepared to be delivered across the network all the way to the physical wire or wireless connection. At the destination, the process works in reverse. The packets are reassembled as they move up the protocol stack. When the server responds, it sends the web page back the same way. The data is broken into chunks as it moves down the protocol stack, sent over the network, then reassembled at the destination. Remember, the OSI model is a conceptual model or a reference. Network protocols don't need to have all 7 layers, or I suppose they could have more. I don't think there's any laws against it, however unnecessary. The protocol we all know and love, TCP/IP, which isn't a protocol but a suite of protocols, only has 4 layers. Let me explain. At the bottom, we have the link layer, sometimes called the network interface layer. This layer maps to the data link and physical layer of the OSI model and handles the physical transport of data over fiber optics, wire, or the air with wireless. Then we have the internet layer that maps to the network layer of the OSI model. This layer takes care of IP addresses and routing traffic between the source and destination. After that is the transport layer, mapping to, well, the transport layer of the OSI model. This layer establishes host-to-host connectivity and packet segmentation and error control. That just means it breaks data into smaller chunks and makes sure nothing gets messed up along the way. The transport layer introduces networking ports. These are well-known numbers assigned to network applications or random high-level ports used to track communication between hosts. While an IP address maps to a specific host on a network, a port maps to a specific application or service on a host. And finally, we have the application layer. That maps to the session, presentation, and application layer of the OSI model. This layer includes application protocols such as HTTP, FTP, or DNS. The protocol sends data and receives data from the transport layer. This way, the protocol doesn't have to worry about details of the connection. Just like our previous example, as data moves down the protocol stack, it's disassembled, broken into packets. The packets get headers added along each step of the way with information about that layer. As the packets arrive at the destination, each layer inspects and removes the headers and reassembles the data for the next layer. Here's the takeaway. The OSI model is conceptual, while TCP/IP is a real suite of protocols. Although there are only 4 layers to the TCP/IP model, you'll often hear people refer to the OSI model in networking terms. For example, a Layer 7 gateway is a network gateway that works at the application layer of the stack. A Layer 3 device is limited to looking at the source and destination IP address, a router for example. A traditional firewall will work with a transport layer, comparing IP addresses and port numbers. This is often referred to as a stateful packet inspection. Modern firewalls have introduced Layer 7 inspection as well to get a closer look at the application data, not just the source and destination information. The link layer refers to the network interface used for connectivity. 10 gig Ethernet over fiber, copper Ethernet, or wireless adapters map to the link layer. I honestly never heard anyone refer to these as Layer 1 devices, but that's what they map to. For my entire career, whenever I hear about networking layers or the OSI model, all people seem to need data processing springs back into my head like a bad song. And after this video, I hope you have the same experience. I also hope this helps you better understand the OSI model and how it's used as a reference for networking. Please like and subscribe. I plan to do more like this, so be sure to click the bell icon to get notifications of new content. Thanks for watching.